Holding the card that had once been such a treasured item, Greyton Coren saw how badly his life had been changed. At 10 years old, when he'd first found it nestled in the library book, like a pearl in its shell subtly flaunting elegance, it had answered all of his prayers and granted all of his wishes. Now it was the source of his nightmares. He wasn't touching it. The glove was the thickest he could find, laced with anti-magic, and this was the last thing he expected it to be used for when he bought it. His other hand, ungloved, reached into the pocket of his jacket to extract a small knife. Not a combat blade, nor even a sharp one. This one chilled him through flesh and bone, but to any onlooker, though he assured there were none, he was a person talking to a stainless steel butter knife and a piece of paper. "Kibri, come out," he implored. Neither the card nor the knife responded. "Kibri," he repeated louder. "Kibri, this is the last day." Still nothing happened, so Greyton took the knife and carefully stroked it over the card. The dark canyon moaned, but still no life neared him. He tapped the knife more urgently, denting the engraving of the card's title. Shrieks echoed around him, coming from no direction in particular and reverberating in all of them. "Kibri!" Greyton roared. "I know you're here. I suggest you reveal yourself, or I can easily summon you and kill us both." "You wouldn't," responded an all too familiar voice from the same nowhere that the shriek had emerged. "No, that's why I'm here. I met you 15 years ago, and you know what that means." "Can't we go how we're supposed to?" the voice responded, in the same pleading that Greyton would have submitted to under any circumstance if it had only been earlier than this. "It's me, or you, or both of us," Greyton called, voice stumbling. His teeth were pressing together so tightly that they could have shattered if he wasn't already facing the Reaper, fiddle ready, song unpracticed. There was nowhere to look, but his eyes were pinned wide. His vision pulsed between pure perfection and pure blur. At some time, tears had fallen without him noticing, and they were drying against his cheeks, with new ones dropping down the path that had already been carved. Then Kibri finally revealed himself. It was a testament to how far he'd fallen that he was in the form of a crow, black feathers all but a vague white ring around his left eye. "You hate birds, Kibri," Greyton grumbled. "Do you really think that's your best hope of walking out of here?" "I'm not expecting to walk out, Greyton," the bird responded. "I know that I die tomorrow. I just wish you'd abandon this frail quest of yours. You've failed, Greyton, now let us both go out painlessly." "We can't both die, Kibri. I was 10 when I summoned you and agreed to the contract. If there's a chance one of us will survive my decision, then I'm taking it." "Greyton, whoever wins won't survive. He'll be a shell of his former self. You can't kill your other half and come out whole." "Enough talking," Greyton grumbled. His teeth were grinding and his hands were shaking. "Kibri, if you won't do this, then I command you, Pathon, fight your master." And he dropped the card that gave him control of the aeromancer before him. Kibri looked mortified, but an order was an order, and without that card on his person, Greyton was now vulnerable to his attacks for the first time in 15 years. The immediate area lit up, and any onlookers would have wondered what was going on down there, but because of how careful Greyton had been to disguise his location, he didn't realize that there was a girl teetering on the edge of the canyon, and he didn't realize that she knew exactly what was happening, and he couldn't see how widely she smiled.